I think it stands to reason. It makes sense that one way or another, at least two of these final four candidates that we know of that are getting second-round interviews are going to be paired together. Whether Jim Schwartz is a head coach and then either Monken or Shieldhouse are going to be the OC, or whether it's Udinski or Shieldhouse is a head coach and then Schwartz is going to be the DC, I think it makes a lot of sense. But because there's such ambiguity about what's really going on in this search, like today, Daryl threw out this idea of how you get even more of the final four Browns second-round candidates that we know of right now into Berea.
The Browns are going to end up with both Grant Udinski and Nate Shieldhouse. Udinski head coach. Shieldhouse gets a promotion instead of having to basically transcribe Sean McVay's brilliance there out in Los Angeles. He gets to come to Cleveland and be the offensive coordinator and call plays here.
It would be a step up. That is the one thing with Shieldhouse, is that he is really 2 jobs away from being the head coach.
So here's the thing. I don't think you can put it past the Browns suggesting like something like this to Shieldhouse if he's not the head coach. What I will say is, because he's a candidate with other jobs, it wouldn't surprise me if a team like Pittsburgh says, hey, we're going to hire Chris Shula as our head coach. Would you like to be our OC? I feel like the Browns are going to be a really rough sell for somebody like Shieldhouse, who is that one job away from being a head coach candidate, if he doesn't get it here.
But also, Udinski falls in that bucket as well, too, right? Like, think about it. Again, he's talking to Buffalo right now. I don't think he's got a chance for the head coaching job. Definitely has a chance for the OC job. Well, that's a reality. Like, there's all these teams. For the OC job, it just becomes a little bit different. And so I do love the idea of thinking about what combo is best, though, and what combo would work out the best, because I think ultimately the Browns, what they want is any combination of 2 of the 4 people they're talking about to have roles here.
To me, the best candidate, the best combo includes somebody that is off board.
Well, no, because I think Jim Schwartz being a DC and staying as a DC makes it a good combo. Like if it ends up being Udinski and Jim Schwartz, I'm not terribly upset with that.
I mean, Schwartz as a DC to me is the optimum outcome regardless. I just don't know. I don't know.
I'm also interested if it's Schwartz and Monken.
I don't know that I can just co-sign on anything that Udinski is a head coach or Shieldhouse is a head coach.
Co-signing is odd. It's okay. It's like, do I think they're going to win Super Bowls overnight because Udinski's going to be awesome with Jim Schwartz? No, that I will not say that.
Well, I just think I kind of feel like I think we've gotten to a point where if it's Udinski or Shieldhouse, this is the way you wanted the search to go, which means I question the validity of the search, and I really to me. The teams that get it right, it's not about who has the most candidates or the fewest. It's not who has the sexiest job or the least amount, the least sexy job. It's really like, okay, what was your end goal that you had in mind? And if you started it with the theory of to find the next Sean McVay, then you tilted this search at the beginning to the direction that you wanted. And I think some people have looked at Monken and Schwartz and said, well, because they're here, they didn't do that. I think when it comes to the fact that either Shieldhouse or Udinski are the odds-on favorite from most of the big bookmakers to be the head coach, it means the other guys are pretty much – they're here for other reasons beyond just being the head coach.
Wouldn't surprise me at all if Andrew Berry started the search saying, I'm going to try to find the next Sean McVay, and then fell impressed with either Shieldhouse or Udinski and said, we got our guy, and effectively closed up shop everywhere else and just trying to organize everything.
But that's what makes the whole data component of this even more frustrating. And again, I understand, there might be, with Lima's big report that has gone viral about Chris Shula,
don't tell certain Steelers reporters that.
Don't you dare, because that was theirs first. Because
sure, yeah, sure.
But it's really frustrating. I understand that there are going to be some guys that don't want to come here. That makes sense. Whether it's because of the standardized testing you put them through, because of maybe the way they treated Kevin, maybe the perception of the job, the quarterback room, Andrew Berry being here and being perceived as a lame duck, whatever it is, I understand that certain guys are just going to be off the board. But I don't know if there's a part of me that's I don't know how original your search is if, again, you tilted it towards the thing that everybody in the NFL wants anyways.
Well, at least it's not a bunch of names that everybody has.
You know what I mean?
You're talking about original.
Well, that's because the other guys won't interview with him, right? Or that could be because, like, Clint Kubiak won't interview with you.
That could be because they're having a bunch of questionnaires and essays and everything else.
Because Davis Webb won't interview with you.
Because it's not a very good job, ultimately. But, like, even like Daryl suggesting that you combo it up, why would Udinski and Shieldhouse come here?
Because Daryl wants him to.
But if you name Udinski the head coach, Shieldhouse, what's he going to do? He just stays with the Rams. Why would he leave the Browns, or why would he leave the Rams, a team that could play in the Super Bowl? They're a win away from playing in the Super Bowl. Why would he leave that and you stay with the McVay train? You don't hop onto the Brown situation.
Or there are going to be better coordinator jobs out there.
Yeah, or you go to the Buffalo spot and you get a job there. Like you go to a Primo spot. You don't go to the Browns.
And this is another one, by the way, now that we're on it. So Udinski is going to be the glorified quarterbacks coach in Jacksonville, and then he's going to let somebody else come in and call his plays and run it, or is he just going to treat Shieldhouse the way Liam Cohen treated Udinski as a glorified quarterbacks coach?
Yeah, that's exactly what he would do. The combo makes no sense.
216-474-0092. Just as it is Grant Udinski Day, does it feel like it is all tilting towards Udinski or Shieldhouse? Let's go with Tom in Garfield Heights. Welcome to the show, Tom.
Hey, good evening, guys. How you doing today?
We're doing all right.
Hey,
what
Tom.
you got for us, buddy?
I'm going to try to have you convince me that Jim Schwartz is not the best option for head coach. Because I've been racking my brain since this all unfolded, and it's on paper, this guy's it. I mean,
what about Sean McDermott?
Sean McDermott's a good option, but I don't know. Just the fact that Jim Schwartz wants an opportunity at this job shows that he has faith in this team, this offense, defense, and I think he could not only put the defense together like he's been, but put the offense together. I mean, just his time in Detroit alone, the numbers aren't staggering, but he did well in there. The offense was terrible. Defense too in 2008 before he got there. 2009, it kind of stayed.
He did have Matthew Stafford, who is 2 wins away from having basically his Hall of Fame candidacy stamped in. Yeah,
no, that is true, and also, who drafted him? Honestly, he was brought up by Jim Schwartz. Jim Schwartz was the first coach that trained him, and that offense in 2011 was 5th in yards, and then 3rd in yards in 12, and then 6th in yards in 2013. Defense stayed steady, but he was an offensive mind, in his time in Detroit, and honestly, I think he could do the same here in Cleveland. I like that decision, bringing someone who knows the team, knows the NFL. Get a young guy to, possibly call plays and run an offensive coordinator. Honestly, I'm convinced, and I can't be, decided against it. I want to hear what you got to say.
All right, Tom, we appreciate you. I think the problem. You know what? Why don't you take it? You're kind of doing the.
Once Tom tried turning Matthew Stafford into a product of Jim Schwartz, there was no changing Tom's mind. Like, once you tried saying he's the one that developed Matthew Stafford into being this Hall of Fame quarterback, 2 wins away from being a Hall of Fame quarterback, there was no convincing you that he was anything but the best option in your mind.
I think we can talk about the offensive stats, the defensive stats, given that once they got to the playoff caliber, with Jim Schwartz, they never got back there. I think that would be the answer. If you want to write off the first season because it was a rookie quarterback and they were coming off a winless season before that, I get it. You want to write off the second one because they were building out of I totally get it. He was digging out of the worst situation in the NFL up until the Cleveland Browns came along later that decade. But then once they got to the playoff level, I believe they won 4 games and then 7 games over the next 2 years after that. That's pretty compelling bit of information on how good. And again, at this point, Schwartz might end up being a better hire than Udinski. That's how
it might be.
That's how bleak things have gotten here.
Well, your argument is that he's the most qualified because you're removing McDermott from this equation, and it's like, well, yeah, none of the other guys that we're talking about have ever been a head coach. He's obviously the most qualified. That doesn't mean he's the best for this. Doesn't mean that it's the right answer. And by the way, it's not as if I'm not like anti-Jim Schwartz. I just think if they go with Jim Schwartz, it will surprise me because it's not the direction that they seem like they want to go with this. It seems like they want the young offensive mind. But again, we're not in these meetings. Who knows?
And for our own sanity, it's going to be a cold weekend. We're probably not going to get a new head coach for a week. I am living in the idea, mostly because it suits my mental health, not because I think it might be actually real. Off-the-board candidates. We don't know everybody they've interviewed, right? That maybe they snuck somebody else in Wednesday or Thursday as McDaniel and Minter said bye-bye to them.
Just hope it's McDermott.
Right? Maybe they got Sean McDermott there. Maybe if Seattle loses on Sunday, maybe Clint Kubiak gets passed over for a couple jobs and all of a sudden he wants to take that essay. Right? All of a sudden, he's like, I would
Maybe.
love to take. I'm
just debating my head right now if
Give me
I wanna-
a piece of paper or a Word document, and I'm going to give you 25,000 words on why Clint Kubiak should be the head coach. Maybe he gets there.
Maybe there's a college coach they haven't yet brought in, and now they are going to talk to him.
I'll be honest with you.
Go full Padone on this one.
I'm afraid. I am very afraid of Udinski. If you hire a college head coach, I will go Hiroshima. I will go. I will.
Hiroshima.
What was that?
Huh? Hiroshima.
I think it's Hiroshima if it's not Hiroshima.
Why do we all say it wrong?
We can't get Ayuk or Udinski right either. We probably should get Hiroshima.
Hiroshima. That's right. That's right.
Are you going to Mac as your lifeline?
Mac's never a good lifeline on this.
Mac, what do you think about
Hiroshima.
Is it Hiroshima or Hiroshima?
Hiroshima.
I've heard it both ways.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I go with the Japanese pronunciation.
I've ate at a steakhouse before.
You know, guys, I had
sushi last night.
I had some sushi the other day,
Yeah.
and I swore the guy said
I like hibachi.
Hiroshima.
Hibachi, right?
Yeah,
That's how you
I think-
pronounce it?
Yeah, obviously.
Oh, yeah, also it's Udinski. That's for our friend Adam in Rocky River.
I think the segment is taking us out of correcting anyone ever out of anything. I think is what it's done.
Just because I can't say Hiroshima or Hiroshima right.
Thank you.
No, just because I can't say that right, I can say Udinski right. I can say Brandon Ayuk, a guy that's played in the NFL for Kansas, a godforsaken coaching camp, and he
the
can't
Glazer
tell me
Clinic, yeah.
he's getting 4 levels of coaching interviews, and he can't say Brandon Ayuk.
I know, it's very baffling to me.
Ayuk
I can't even do it how
sounds
he did
like
it.
Goofy getting kicked in the. Ayuk. Ayuk. Okay, that got out of hand
I mean,
on multiple levels.
I mean,
You know what?
goofy.
Ayuk. We're
Whoa.
back. We're back.
You do know how to say that word now. After that grunt.
216-474 Udinski, not Udinski. Udinski, not the name.